The laughter was subdued, almost overly polite. They clustered around the polished glass table in the boardroom, their champagne flutes hovering in midair. I felt the weight of their stares. Some darted away, others lingered too long. My wife's sister, the CEO, entered last, holding a slim, branded box wrapped in dark paper. Her smile was cold, never touching her eyes, as she set the box before me. "A small token for you," she said. I peeled back the wrapping deliberately, revealing a folded t-shirt with stark white text staring up at me. "You're finished." The room stilled for a beat too long before nervous chuckles shattered the quiet, jagged and uncertain. I locked eyes with her. No trace of humor, no clarification, just the calm certainty of someone who believed they'd already won. 2 hours later, at home, I held the shirt up for my wife. She glanced at it, then at me, her lips curving into a subtle, knowing smile. No words passed between us. As I left the room, my phone stayed nestled in my pocket. When I finally checked it, the screen displayed 118 missed calls. All from the same number. It didn't make sense at first. I'd been with the company for over a decade, privy to its darkest secrets, the concealed accounts, the under-the-table deals. My wife's sister, only 6 months into her role as CEO, had enough time to unearth those hidden truths but not to understand who had buried them. And my wife, she'd been distant for weeks, slipping out for unexplained errands. Her phone always face down, its screen blank. But that morning's smile was different. Not aloof but calculated, almost complicit. I replayed it in my mind. The faint curl of her lips, the absence of surprise, the way she didn't question why her sister would humiliate me in front of the board. It wasn't shock, it was collaboration. I wanted to believe I was wrong, that this was merely corporate gamesmanship. But a chilling certainty was settling in my chest, a truth I could almost articulate. I began with her phone, not by touching it, she'd noticed that, but by watching her patterns. She kept it locked, always close, taking it to the bathroom, the laundry room, even to the car for forgotten errands. Next, I checked our bank accounts. No glaring withdrawals, but there was a small, recurring transfer to an unfamiliar account, one not in her name. Then came the late nights. She claimed she was visiting her mother. The first night, I called her mother's number. She answered promptly, bewildered, alone at home. I kept that quiet. Instead, I dug deeper, tracing the transfers. They were complex, funneled offshore, but one intermediary account linked to a holding company. The director of that company was a man who'd once tried to acquire our firm's assets, a deal my sister-in-law had abruptly stopped. My wife knew him too well. By the fourth night, I had proof. A discreet tracker in her car showed that every visit to her mother's led to the same hotel, the same room. I held off on confronting her. I was assembling an ironclad case. The final piece came in an email, not meant for my eyes, forwarded from her phone in a rare moment of negligence. It was a scanned contract, bearing my wife's signature next to her sister's. They'd sold my shares without my approval, using forged documents tucked within a merger clause I'd missed years ago. The buyer? The man from the hotel. It was a brilliant scheme, almost admirable in its precision. Remove me from the company, strip my shares, and let me sink in public disgrace. I printed a single copy of the contract. That evening, as she hummed her way into the kitchen, I slid the document across the counter. Her eyes locked on her signature. "You," she started, but I remained silent. She stared at me as if I'd pulled the ground from beneath her. The next morning, I stood in her sister's office. The t-shirt was neatly folded on her desk, its message facing up. "This was a mistake," I said. Her smirk came automatically. "You think so?" I slid a USB drive toward her. She didn't touch it. "Everything's there," I said. "The transfers, the contract, the hotel footage, and enough to destroy the man you sold to." Her smirk faltered. "You can make this go away," she said warily. I nodded. "I already did. It's with the board and the press, set to release at noon." Her face drained of color. I stood, leaving the shirt on her desk. "A gift for you," I said. By the time the first headlines hit, my phone vibrated incessantly. Her name flashed on the screen, call after call, 118 and counting. I didn't pick up. The house was silent when I returned. Her car was gone. The framed wedding photo had disappeared from its spot. Good. I poured a drink, sat by the window, and gazed at the empty street, half expecting it to reveal something new. The anger had faded, leaving something sharp and empty in its wake. Forgiveness wasn't an option. Some betrayals don't allow for it. The t-shirt was still in my bag. I pulled it out, unfolded it, and smoothed the fabric. The words struck differently now. You're finished. Yes, you are.